Hey everybody, it's Jay from Simple Woods Life, and a heidi ho to all the new subscribers. Every time I check, there seems to be more people subscribing, and some of those silly shorts I posted are going through the roof, and the comments are wonderful. And I wish I was here and here to really engage with you guys at the moment, but we had some trouble on the weekend. On the weekend we had a bit of trouble, and we lost our girl Dixie. June 2014, she was born. She came to us at the end of the summer, and I don't know where 10 years went. She was fine on Sunday morning. Sunday afternoon, I don't know if anyone knows about bloat, but basically her stomach had completely twisted around, and the chances of survival through surgery were slim, and the chances of recovery after that were dire. And so, with only an hour or two's notice, my wife and I, and the youngest, had to say our goodbyes, and we held her in our arms until she wasn't and I don't know why it's hitting me as hard as it's hitting me. Dogs have been in my life before, but there was something about Dixie, and I remember when we brought her home, we were told, now careful, this isn't a dog, this is a Doberman. And I always thought that was cute on a t-shirt, you know? But I don't know if it's that, and I certainly don't want to put anyone else's pup down, because every single person I've ever met thinks they've got the greatest dog in the world, and they are 100% right. Our girl was funny. Dixie was always up to play, always up for a joke. We used to hide on her, and she'd come trotting into a room, and we'd jump out and scare the hell out of her, and she would freak out. And then the smile, I don't know if you guys have ever seen a dog smile, but it's like a very cute snarly of the teeth. It's so beautiful. She had the most beautiful smile. Every time I came through the door, she smiled. Same with Miss Lady and the youngest, and Nona, and the people she loved. She just smiled for them. And you know, you could not go to a room without her following you. You could not sit down. I couldn't be standing here if she was beside me without petting her. She would come up and put her head in your hands. You basically had to have both hands full, and even then she'd lean against you. She was a snuggler and a sweetheart, and so patient. And so patient. And she had a heart as big as gold. And I mean, I knew that 10 was up there, you know? I knew they'd said 10 to 12. And then I'd heard, you know, of people who'd had Dobermans as old as 15 and 16. And I honestly thought, we've got years left with her. And we didn't. And like I said, there was no warning. I've lost people in my life, and I don't know if it makes me a monster, but I haven't felt the pain I have felt with her. I'm not afraid to say I have cried more, wept more, just broken down more in the past week, in the past few days, than I have in my life. And in terms of coming to terms with it, when we buried her, wrapped her in her blankets, and gave her some toys and some bones, and kissed her and hugged her, and we said goodbye. But there was something soothing about now knowing that she's resting. And I don't feel her anymore, which is very weird to me. But I guess that's death. The channel's kind of taken a pause. The one week we went up north her for Thanksgiving, and oh my God, Dixie had probably the best week of her life. You know, Miss Lady and I have chatted and played some things in hindsight, like, oh, I wonder if she knew something was happening. But we drove up north, and you know, the truck's got a 60-40 bench, and I always pull the 40 up so Dixie can have her big pillow. But no, she sat up. The youngest was sitting on the 60 with the armrest down, and Dixie got under the armrest and promptly planted her 80-pound butt on top of the youngest, and just snuggled with her for at least 2 hours of the drive. And we watched the sun coming down, and we didn't stop, you know. Normally we'd stop for a bite or something on the way up to Nona's, but we didn't stop, and we pulled in, and you know, it was all smiles and hugs and kisses and a good night. And the next day she made a brand new friend next door. They've got a yellow lab, and the two of them became the best of friends, and there they were off leash, just owning the acres. And even Miss Lady's sister brought her boy over, Duke, and the three of them were just playing up a storm, having a great old time. And the thing with Dixie, she didn't have a gray hair on her body. She didn't look old. You know, you look at some dogs that are 6 or 7 and they look 6 or 7. Dixie looked 3, always. And always acted 3. I mean, she was a little grumblier, and she was a little ornerier, you know. Didn't like the rain, wasn't a fan of the snow, but for the most part, you never would have known. We had some family photos done up there, and the northern lights were in full effect, and we were watching them, and the most beautiful video footage of it. I'd brought the GoPro, and the whole way up, my Aurora app was blasting through my phone, telling me, like, you can see the Aurora Borealis. You can see it. You can see the Aurora Borealis. And I got up there, and Dave was like, yeah, we never see them up here. And I was like, they're right outside. I was just looking at them. We walked back out front, and well, everyone came out, but then after 4 or 5 minutes, it was just Dave and I, because everyone got cold. And you know, the longer, obviously, you get acclimated to the darkness, the more you saw. But then, you know, whipped out the phones and the cameras, and there was this magical thing on Dixie's last full weekend. And we didn't know it. And rides and pets and treats and friends, and she had a big bath. And when we came home, it was new food day, which I don't know if you guys do this, but we put her food into it's like a big plastic dog barrel, and we leave the lid off because we forget. Oh, you know, we're dumb. We're silly. We don't understand what a dog might do, huh? And she just helped herself, and we always on new food day let her help herself for a little bit, and she took a monster out of it. She just rah, rah, rah. And then it was just walks and play, and for the rest of that week, after Thanksgiving, Miss Lady had taken it off, and between work and my work and just trying to hang out a bit with my wife, I didn't get around to any of the stuff outside. So it was Dixie snuggles. Well, it was family snuggles, and it was just everything. It was just everything. And we just had a wonderful week with her, and didn't know we were having a wonderful week with her. And we always try and appreciate the moment, you know, but I didn't realize we were appreciating the moment. Saturday was wonderful, and Sunday started great. She had breakfast, everything was fine, and then she just, around lunchtime, was acting weird, and I thought maybe she wanted more chomps, so I put more food in her bowl, and she didn't want that. We thought maybe she had to go out, and she didn't want that. And she started moaning, a moan I've never heard before. And this is a Doberman. I mean, they don't let you know when they're hurt. But Adobe doesn't tell you. They just push through it. For whatever reason, I don't know. I guess I'm kind of the same. I'm the idiot that gets hurt and keeps working, and then at the end of the day, get told I should have put a Band-Aid on it or something, so. She didn't get it from me, though. She was as tough as nails. So I don't know how long she was feeling the way she was feeling, but that afternoon she started moaning, and it was the weekend, so we had to call the emergency vets, and they're not near, so Miss Lady rushed her down there, and I was taking the youngest to work, and then I got the call, like, get here. And now the lodge is empty. And I didn't know I didn't know how loud even just her snoring was, and how much it meant to me. And all the little rituals I didn't even realize I had. She always got her water before I filled the kettle for my coffee, and I always get out of my side of the truck and walk around to the 40 side, because it's lower, because the bench is up. And I'm coming home, and nobody's coming to the door to greet me, and normally I get barreled over, and I have to do the scrubs. So there's not a video this week, because I haven't been out. I haven't felt like doing anything. Sunday we couldn't even sleep, and Monday Miss Lady and I built the casket and dug the hole, and when the youngest came home from school, we buried her. On Tuesday and Wednesday, I just couldn't. Today I got a full day's work in, and it was nice to be distracted, but again, all those rituals I didn't realize. And there hasn't been a squeak of a toy or at the wasps that have gotten in somehow. And nobody's begging me for snuggles or scrubs. So it's different. It's different. And it's not a good different. And I know time heals all wounds. I mean, that's what they tell you. There are people who've passed that it hasn't healed. Kind of a crock. But I know it lessens the severity. How about that? And so that's what I'm doing right now. I'm just trying to make sense of any of it. And you know, she was my best friend, and I don't like the word dog, and I don't like the word pet, because it's almost diminishing, you know? Dog, if a woman says dog, it's an insult. If a man says dog, it's an insult. Entire cultures say dog, it's an incredible insult, and yet I'm supposed to say that one of the greatest aspects of my life is a dog. I'm also not one of those people that, you know, I'm a puppy daddy, but I also am. She was just my extension. She was my another chamber in my heart. She was my everything. She was my ride or die. The amount of kilometers I've put on that truck with Dixie right there. I don't know. How do you just go, well, that's a dog, and move on? You don't. And there's some callous people out there who will say, you know, hey man, it was just a dog. You. It's not like, you know, she had anything else going on. You know, she didn't have her own life and her own family and her own jobs and her own interests. I was it for her. Ms. Lady was it for her. We were it for her. And she was it for us. And it's crushed both of us beyond words. And our connection with that pup, being her guardian, was so strong. And there's people who get it. My God, we've had these flower deliveries come by. Like, it's 2024. I didn't know they still delivered flowers. But no, we've had flowers and giant Demigorgon lilies. They keep lunging at me every time I walk by them, and the whole house stinks of lily. I'm not a big lily smelly fan, but there's roses there that I smell, and I like those. This little magical creature depended on us for every single thing, and I didn't realize how much I depended on her. And lying in bed and not hearing her breathing, not hearing that collar shake, not hearing the clicky click that tells me it's time to cut the nails, not feeling the glare because it's pushing that time where we gotta go run our errands. You know, it's messed up. It's just messed up, and there's just a big hole, and I'm just taking a bit of time. So next week, you know, I'm gonna do my best to get back out to the woodlot and get this channel back on track. I'd posted about this on Instagram, and I really appreciate the comments. And some people have messaged me offline, and I really appreciate that as well. There's one thing that Dixie loved, and that was beer. And not a lot, but like every time, you know, we were camping or around the campfire or whatever, she'd get a sip. Or if we were out barbecuing and I cracked one open, she'd get a sip. And I don't know, I was in the LCBO, and they had this, it's called Our Pet Pilsner. And there's some dogs on there, and some people out with their pets, their cats and their dogs, and there's an eagle. I don't know if that's, I guess maybe that's Peacemaker's eagly. And the proceeds of this will go with, oh my God, look at this. For optimum enjoyment, pair this beer with belly rubs and ear scratches. Oh, Jesus. But with the purchase of this crisp German-style Pilsner for my German dog, you're supporting our pet project, the campaign to build the new Peterborough Animal Care Center. The Peterborough Humane Society is part of this, so, you know. Here's to Dixie. Dickerdoo, Dicker Drangles, the Chomper, the Tickle Monster, the Snuggie, the Dickerdoo-doo-doo, Disky Moo, Disky Ding Dong, Discarino, and a million other things. And a million other things that I would randomly call her on a daily basis. Drangles was mostly the one that Miss Lady called her. I don't know, man. But thank you for your patience. For the new subscribers, no, I'm not usually this real. So go watch some of my other lots of stuff on there where I'm annoying and I'm yelling at the camera and I'm screaming and I'm telling you what the weather is. Oh, it's absolutely beautiful today. But our Dixie. June 30th, 2014 to October 20th, 2024. I wouldn't change a thing, and I'd do it all over again. and I had no idea the connection that we shared, and I'm grateful for it. I wish I had the wherewithal to know it when I had it. This is Jay from Simple Woods Life telling you, if your best friend is four-legged and furry, you're doing something right. See you guys in a bit. I do not like this at all. I do not like it.